There are objects in the world that challenge our understanding. Underwater rivers stretching into the depths of the oceans, swords shining with mysterious light, as well as ancient frescoes depicting aliens. What legacy have past civilizations left us? What secrets are hidden underwater and in the bowels of the earth? Where did the strange artifacts, mysterious treasures, and phenomena that even modern science cannot explain come from? Today, we will try to solve some of these mysteries. The only underwater river in the world ocean has been discovered at the bottom of the Black Sea. Its length is 37 nautical miles, its width is more than half a mile, and the speed of the water flow is 7.5 kilometers per hour. It originates from the Bosphorus Strait and goes deep into the Black Sea. The water in the river is very salty, and the trough formed by its course reaches a depth of up to 35 meters in places. Ulfbert swords is a common name for more than 170 examples of medieval swords made between the 9th and 11th centuries. They are distinguished by high manufacturing quality, as well as the mass and uniformity of the brands on the blades. A wire of red copper, brass, and silver was wound into the surface of the pommel, which made the handle shimmer in the light, giving the weapon a shimmering appearance. The Maine penny is one of the most mysterious finds on American soil. This coin, dating from about the 11th century, was discovered in 1957 in Maine and has obvious Norwegian features, which indicates possible Viking contacts with North America long before Columbus. The coin was found among Native American artifacts, which raises many questions about how it could have ended up there. This gold treasure was accidentally found in the ground more than 70 years ago near the Bulgarian town of Panagurshite. The items were made in the 4th century BC, and to this day, they remain the most beautiful gold service in the world. This masterpiece of Thracian art consists of 9 items. All Rhydon's files and amphorae are made of pure gold, with a total weight of more than 6 kilograms. Salar de Uyuni in Bolivia is the largest salt plateau in the world, covering more than 10,000 square kilometers. When the rainy season comes, a thin layer of water on the surface turns it into a giant mirror reflecting the sky and creating the illusion of an endless horizon. This place attracts many tourists with its unique natural beauty and surreal landscapes. The flor de coco is a rare bioluminescent mushroom. In the dark, it emits a mystical greenish-blue light, which is formed due to a chemical reaction between the enzyme luciferase and luciferin. These fungi are found in tropical forests and play an important role in the ecosystem, and in culture and myths, they are often associated with mysterious and magical phenomena of the forest. In 2016, a collection of ancient artifacts was discovered at the foot of the statue of the Great Buddha in Lishan, China. Among the finds were more than 200 rare items, including Buddha figurines, ancient coins, and gold jewelry. 3 years later, the Lishan Treasure Museum opened, and now visitors can see these treasures, complemented by modern multimedia exhibitions. Christ from the Abyss is a statue of the Savior, installed on August 25, 1965, at a depth of 8 meters in the waters of Key Largo, Florida, in the area of the underwater coral reef Dry Rocks. In fact, this is a copy of the Italian statue of Jesus Christ, located at the bottom of the sea in the Bay of San Frutuoso in Italy. In February 2020, the attention of an Argentine farmer in one of the provinces of Buenos Aires was attracted by 4 huge stones of a strange structure. He informed the specialists about his discovery in the bed of a dried-up stream. What was his surprise when the boulders turned out to be the remains of shells of ancient glyptodons, relatives of modern armadillos. The uniqueness of the find is also in the fact that it is very rare to find such a number of remains in one place. The history of the amber chamber began 300 years ago. The Prussian King Frederick I, seeking to surpass his French counterpart Louis XIV, ordered the creation of a unique amber cabinet in his palace in Berlin. However, after Frederick's death, his successor William I did not appreciate this masterpiece and decided to present it to Tsar Peter the Great. There were legends about the chamber. It was said that the panels could suddenly change color, foreshadowing trouble or joy. During the Second World War, the amber chamber was stolen by the Germans and its traces were lost. In May 2023, a diver discovered a sunken ship off the coast of Israel. Apparently, it had been lying at the bottom of the sea for more than 1,500 years. Obviously, the ship was transporting marble, and now these huge pieces of rock are covered with layers of shells, salt deposits, and much more. The Longyu Caves, located in the Chinese province of Zhejiang, represent one of the most mysterious and inexplicable archaeological phenomena. Discovered by chance in 1992, they amaze with their scale and skillful treatment of walls and ceilings. The origin of the caves remains a mystery, but local legends say that they served as a shelter for ancient sages who kept their magical knowledge and treasures here. Not so long ago, a video appeared on the internet with stones that emit electricity. Scientists have not commented on this phenomenon yet, and netizens immediately dubbed them vibranium. This fictional metal, which appears in Marvel Comics, is known as one of the most durable materials. It consists of the shield of Captain America and the Black Panther costume. People discovered the amazing apple in the sand in the Sahara Desert only when they started flying into space. But even now, scientists don't fully understand what it is. Some believe that the Eye of the Sahara is actually the remains of the city of Atlantis, which Plato described as concentric rings of water and land. But mostly it's just molten rock rising to the surface, creating a dome that collapsed over time. There is an abandoned prison in the Estonian village of Rumu, which is turned into an amazing underwater museum. Prisoners once worked here in the quarry extracting limestone, but after the prison was closed, water flooded the building and it partially went underwater, creating a unique underwater landscape. The place is shrouded in mysticism. Flooded ruins, underwater forests, and incomprehensible silence create the impression that nature itself carefully protects its secrets. The Galloway treasure is one of the greatest archaeological discoveries in Scotland, found randomly in 2014. It consists of more than 100 rare artifacts from the Viking Age and has been hidden in the ground for almost 1,000 years. In addition to coins, gold, and precious stones, no less amazing things were found in it, such as beads, amulets made of glass and rock crystal, as well as pilgrimage relics. The El Toro artifacts is a mysterious treasure discovered at the site of an ancient Mayan city in Guatemala. According to these finds, archaeologists have discovered products made of jade, gold, and obsidian. Right on them, one can see mysterious symbols and images indicating possible contact with extraterrestrial civilizations. Some of the figures closely resemble unidentified flying objects, while others depict alien faces. This sword was discovered in the Mediterranean Sea off the coast of Jaffa by an amateur scuba diver. At first, he noticed several strange objects in the sand of the coastal zone. As soon as he swam closer, he saw anchors and ceramic products. But the most amazing find was a huge two-handed sword, which most likely belonged to the Crusader. Despite the fact that it is covered with clamshells, the guard, the handle, and the blade are perfectly visible. Italian scientists have discovered large elements of an ancient Roman villa near Verona. The main discovery was the unique, perfectly preserved mosaic floor hidden under the vineyard. The first and only excavations in this place so far were carried out at the beginning of the 20th century, but then for some reason, the researchers did not specify the exact location of the villa, so it was immediately lost again. The purple sapphire of Delhi is a legendary gemstone that is rumored to carry an ancient curse. Found in an Indian temple and brought to England in the 19th century, it became a source of misery and trouble for all its owners. Legend has it that the stone was enchanted by the priests to protect it from robbers, and everyone who tried to take possession of it faced setbacks and illnesses. Chuuk Lagoon in Micronesia is a unique underwater cemetery. At its bottom, there are more than 60 sunken Japanese and American warships from the Second World War. Locals talk about mysterious phenomena and ghosts associated with sunken ships and their crews. If you consider that divers die there every year, but their bodies remain undiscovered, then it all sounds very ominous. Pumapunku is an ancient ritual complex in Bolivia, located on the shores of Lake Titicaca. This mysterious place is a group of huge stone structures, and the blocks of the complex were processed in such a way that the shape and surface quality allowed them to be joined together without the use of cement mortars, being elements of a kind of Lego. The purpose of the Pumapunku is unknown. Maybe some rituals were held there. During construction work in one of the districts of Egyptian Alexandria, a giant sarcophagus made of black granite was accidentally discovered, untouched by looters. Its weight is about 30 tons, and its age exceeds 2,000 years. The discovery caused a lot of excitement. Locals talked about the curse of the pharaoh and about the evil contained in the sarcophagus. One of the most discussed versions was the still undiscovered grave of Alexander the Great. The Kali crater on the Estonian island of Saaremaa was formed about 4,000 years ago after a meteorite impact, creating a unique bowl with a depth of about 110 meters in diameter. Today, in the center of this bowl, there is a lake surrounded by forests and meadows, which gives the place an atmosphere of mystery and solitude. These amazing vessels were accidentally found in France during roadworks. The unique design with images of various animals, including ducks at the ends of the spouts, gives them a special charm. Such a wonderful addition enlivens the vessels because when they were used, it seemed as if ducks were floating down the river from red wine into your glass. It's so unique, isn't it? The Valley of Magic Chimneys, located in Cappadocia, Turkey, is a unique natural wonder. This place is known for its fantastic rock formations made of soft volcanic rock. There are dozens of them in the valley, and each has its own unique shape and history. The inhabitants of Cappadocia previously used these natural caves as living quarters and monasteries. In Mexico, on the Yucatan Peninsula, there is a hidden underwater river called Angelita, the Little Angel. This unique phenomenon was formed as a result of the destruction of an ancient cave. A layer of rock collapsed and opened access to ground fresh water. If you look from the surface, nothing will be visible, only the water column. But it is only necessary to descend to a depth of 18 to 20 meters, and it is as if you find yourself in another world. This is a fragment of the Al-Haram Mosque in Mecca, namely the frame for the black stone, Al-Hajar al-Aswada, which is located in the eastern corner of the Kaaba. According to legend, it was given to Adam during his exile from paradise and originally had a white color, but was darkened by the touch of sinners. Look at how the frame has been erased from the constant touches of pilgrims. In 1836, missionary William Colenso saw an unusual pot in a Maori village on the North Island of New Zealand, in which residents cooked vegetables. It turned out to be a damaged bronze bell with an inscription in the old Tamil language on the rim. The translation of the text suggests that the bell was a ship's bell, but how and why did he end up so far from his native shores? Japanese Dogu figurines are artifacts of the Pokemon era, which are still legendary to this day. Mysterious figurines made of clay amaze the complexity of the design and resemble fantastic creatures with huge eyes and unique details. Scientists are still arguing about their purpose. Were they ritual objects, amulets, or had a connection with ancient rituals and beliefs? There is an abandoned house on Middle Sage Island in the middle of Barnegat Bay in New Jersey. Once there was a luxurious mansion on the territory, of which there was a helipad and a swimming pool, and now it is a dilapidated building inhabited by birds. The house fell into disrepair due to Hurricane Sandy, and only faint light reflections behind its broken windows try to attract the attention of those who decide to explore these forgotten walls. Tikal is the largest and most studied monument of the classical Maya era. Lost in the jungles of Guatemala, it delights with its tall pyramids, which depict mysterious symbols. Built exclusively of stone and clay, this ancient city attracts attention with its majestic beauty and the mysterious spirit of antiquity that envelops each of its stone blocks and narrow arched passage. The town of Taos Hum in New Mexico has an unusual mystery. This is a local rumble of unknown origin. It looks like the movement of heavy machinery along the highway, although there are no major roads in the area of the town. Usually the noise is heard only by local residents and very rarely by visitors. A variety of theories have been proposed as an explanation, from secret government mind control experiments to the underground bases of aliens. The terraces of Moray are one of the most popular Peruvian attractions. Presumably, these are monuments of greenhouse farming of the ancient Incas because temperature, humidity, illumination, and precipitation differ at different stages. They also have a unique drainage system. At the same time, there are other theories of origin. Perhaps this is a pictogram of extraterrestrial civilizations denoting the united consciousness of mankind. In 1938, German archaeologists were excavating in the southeastern region of Baghdad when Wilhelm Koning discovered a 13-centimeter-high clay vessel. Inside was a copper cylinder with a metal rod passing through it. The true purpose of the invention is unknown, but scientists believe that the vessel could be used to produce electric current. Therefore, the artifact was named the Baghdad Battery. The Shroud of Turin, a mysterious artifact of Christianity, is kept in the Church of St. John the Baptist. This long canvas, according to legend, served as a burial shroud for Jesus Christ. Skeptics insist that the Shroud of Turin is an elaborate forgery of the Middle Ages. However, the way the cloth was woven was characteristic of Palestine. What do you think about it? The Japanese island of Okunoshima is famous for its large rabbit population. There are many versions of where they came from here. One of the most popular is that in the 70s of the last century, several elementary school students brought 8 pets with them and left them there. But there is a darker one. Rabbits are the descendants of laboratory animals that were released into the wild after a chemical weapons factory was closed on the island. The Rock Palace in Mesa Verde National Park, Colorado. Construction was carried out from the end of the 12th to the middle of the 13th century AD. It's amazing how the Pueblo Indians came up with the idea to build an apartment building. The most exotic and inaccessible of all places in the palace is a house with a balcony, which can only be reached with climbing equipment. The drawing of a buffalo hunt, discovered on the wall of a cave in the Indonesian island of Sulawesi, is recognized as the oldest known work of narrative painting depicting animals. According to Australian researchers, its age is at least 44,000 years. The drawings cover an area up to 5 meters wide. However, some scientists doubt that this painting is a single composition. The Mariana Trench is the deepest place in the ocean. It is fraught with many mysteries, but the strangest is the sounds coming from the depths. The staff of Oregon State University recorded and analyzed them, but they could not understand what exactly was making noise. Maybe these are unknown sea creatures or even phenomena for which science has no explanation yet. Archaeologists have made a fascinating discovery in Israel. They have found an ancient Christian lamp that allows deeper understanding of early Christianity in this region. This unique artifact, dating back to the 7th century, is decorated with symbols typical of that time. Chest from the Isle of Lewis is a set of ancient pieces created in the 12th century, which were found in 1831 on one of the most remote Scottish islands. Exquisitely carved from walrus bone, they represent the images of kings, bishops, and knights. It's still unclear how they got to Lewis. Perhaps they were part of the cargo carried away by the storm. This unique artifact found in Nepal is known as the Loladov plate. It is a stone disc which, according to scientists, is about 12,000 years old. The most puzzling are the mysterious images on the disc. Among the strange spirals and incomprehensible animals, there is a figure that many consider to be an image of an alien. The copper scroll, discovered in 1952 in a cave near Qumran, remains one of the most intriguing finds of the Dead Sea. Unlike other scrolls, it is made of thin sheets of copper and contains a list of treasures and their locations, which is of interest not only to scientists, but also to adventurers. Written in illegible Hebrew script, the scroll promises riches, but so far, they have not been found. The reefs of the Twilight zone of the Chagos archipelago, immersed in dark waters at a depth of 60 to 200 meters, remain one of the most mysterious ecosystems on the planet. They stretch for tens of kilometers in the semi-darkness, and life here takes incredible and bizarre forms. Studies have shown that organisms live here that are almost impossible to find in the upper layers of the ocean, as well as bioluminescent creatures. The winged armor is a rare and mysterious protective equipment used in medieval China. These unusual armors included metal or leather plates stylized as wings that were attached to the warrior's back. In addition to protection, the wings may have served as a symbol of the military spirit and intimidated opponents with their imposing appearance. It is still unclear whether the armor was used on the battlefield or had an exclusively ritual significance. The Chocolate Hills of Bohol Province in the Philippines belong to the 7 natural wonders of Southeast Asia. Their origin is very mysterious. According to one version, they appeared as a result of the movement of lithospheric plates, which led to the uplift of fossilized coral reefs, while nature, with the help of rain and wind, gave them such a shape. The local legend is more poetic. It is about the love of the giant Orogo and the human girl Aloyu. Since giants lived longer than humans, love brought him a lot of grief, and hills formed where the tears of a lover fell. The little mammoth bracelets are about 20,000 years old. These are works of Stone Age art found in 1908 in Ukraine, near the village of Mayan, Chernihiv region. The scientists drew attention to the 5 zones of the ornament on the bracelet, 3 of which are made in a meander and 2 in zigzags. Further study led them to the idea that this was a calendar from 20,000 years ago. Recent studies of the ocean floor off the coast of Cuba have confirmed that a giant city is located at the very bottom of the Bermuda Triangle. There are at least 4 pyramids in its very center. Under a huge layer of silt and plants, there are sculptures and buildings of unknown purpose. Probably there was once an ancient metropolis there, which was destroyed as a result of rising sea levels and a catastrophic earthquake. Is it the Atlantis? In the small New York navigable strait of the East River, North Brother Island is located, along which citizens have not ventured to walk since the end of the 19th century. The fact is that in 1885, a hospital was opened there for patients with infectious and viral infections. It lasted until the end of the Second World War. In the mid-50s, a rehabilitation center for drug addicts appeared on the island. Even though it has also been closed for a long time, no one is in a hurry to spend time on the island. The mystery of the living stones from Death Valley, which has worried scientists for decades, has been solved. It seemed that the massive boulders themselves were slowly moving along the dry lake bed, leaving long trails behind them. But it's all about a combination of rare weather conditions, rain forming a thin layer of ice, and winds that move rocks on a slippery surface. The abandoned tunnel under Naples, known as the Bourbon Tunnel, attracts researchers and tourists with its mystical atmosphere and mysterious history. Originally built in the middle of the 19th century for royal escapes and military purposes, it eventually turned into a secret contraband storage facility and then into an ordinary landfill. Now these underground passages, along with their garbage, have been turned into a museum. While plowing a field in central Turkey, a farmer came across a rare Hittite-era bracelet, which is 3,300 years old. The stunning artifact, made of bronze, nickel, silver, and gold, depicts the Hurrian goddess Shoshka with her servants. At the Korum Museum, where the farmer took the find, experts assessed it as unprecedented, emphasizing the historical significance of the bracelet. The Washington Monument, completed in 1844, was the tallest freestanding structure in the world, so it was equipped with a unique lightning protection system, a solid aluminum pyramid at the top. However, it did not meet expectations, and 6 months after installation, it began to melt from lightning strikes. Despite subsequent upgrades, the original pyramid is still in place and is still being struck by lightning. The ancient Nes Brodgar complex in Orkney is the most important archaeological site of the Neolithic period. It is a unique collection of buildings and artifacts reflecting the complex culture and social structure of the time. Work at the site has shown that Nes Brodgar played a central role in the ritual and social life of the ancient Orkney. Scientists Jens Borum and Marianne Holmer from Denmark have finally solved the mystery of the origin of the circles at the bottom of the Baltic Sea. Previously, theories had been put forward about extraterrestrial civilizations or traces of bombs from World War II, but Borum and Holmer found that the circles were formed only because of the action of algae. The disk of Festos, found by archaeologist Luigi Pernier in 1908 on the island of Crete, remains to this day one of the most mysterious finds of archaeology. Made of baked clay, it is decorated with 45 strange symbols arranged in a spiral. Experts suggest that the disk may contain an encoded message or represent a form of ancient writing, but there is still no consensus on this. The Mapimi Zone of Silence in Mexico is shrouded in mysticism and mysteries thanks to the unique features of radio communication in this region. Recently, a 16th century shield stolen by the Nazis during World War II was returned to the Czech Konopitia Castle. It attracts attention not only with its rich decor, but also with its unusual design. The shield is made of tree bark, which makes it not only light, but also durable, which provides mobility and maneuverability in battle. Polish journalist Igor Witkowski claims that the Nazi project called the Bell had deadly properties and could destroy everything around. Documents from the archives of several countries confirmed this version. The SS Gruppenführer Jacob Spurenberg talked about the allegedly catastrophic consequences of experiments in which the radiation of the bell killed animals and destroyed plants. Witkowski is sure that these were some kind of rudiments of space technology. And what do you think? In this historic photo taken in Germany, Adolf Hitler walks past a line of soldiers, raising his hand in the famous Nazi salute. His gesture, accentuated by stern faces and immaculate uniforms, symbolizes absolute power and pervasive fear. But what exactly is highlighted here? Perhaps this is the key to the hidden symbolism embedded in this moment of history, which perpetuated the dark days of the past. The pipes of the Hopewell culture, which existed in Ohio around the 100th year BC, represent one of the most mysterious artifacts of ancient American civilizations. They are elaborately carved from stone and decorated with intricate patterns, and were used in rituals related to religious and social practices. Mystery surrounds not only their exact purpose, but also the symbolism of the carving, which scientists are still trying to decipher. Recent research has shown that the ancient Hittite calendar is remarkably accurate, surpassing many other ancient chronology systems. Created more than 3,000 years ago, it skillfully combined astronomical observations and complex mathematical calculations. The mystery lies in how the Hittites, with limited technology, were able to achieve such precision while anticipating modern methods. The dodecahedron, a mysterious Roman artifact found in various parts of the former Roman Empire, still has no clear explanation for its purpose. Some scientists suggest that it was used in astronomical observations or as a complex mathematical device, while others see it as a cult or religious symbol. In Chile and the town of Tierra Amarilla, a giant funnel with a diameter of 32 meters and a depth of 64 meters was discovered. This mysterious sinkhole appeared not far from the copper mine. There are suggestions that extreme mining operations could be the cause, but an exact explanation has not yet been found.